Old Fashioned Football on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by our Patreon. Score exclusive perks, content, and contests, including the NFL Win Totals contest with a $1,000 prize. Join today at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy is offering you a chance to win $15 million in prizes with Best Ball Mania 4. Use promo code SGPN at Underdog Fantasy for a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. And we're also brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now and use code SGP. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on any college football bet. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code SGP.
Hey, what's up? This is Sam Acho, and you're listening to Old Fashioned Football. Hey, what's up? This is Sam Acho, and you're listening to Old Fashioned Football.
Old-fashioned football.
You make this deal right now, you pancake-eating mother.
All right, deal.
Old-fashioned football.
Welcome to Old Fashioned Football. If you're wondering who you're listening to or who you see, if you're tuned in on YouTube, youtube.com/@old-fashioned football. I am J Mark. You can find me on Twitter at JMarkFootball. And before I keep going on our first live podcast, aside from our listener league draft, I have to introduce my co-host on the pod and in life. You can find her on Twitter at TheMurmark. You can call her Mur or Miranda, I suppose, if you want to be formal about it. Mur, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Justin. For a minute, I thought you were going to tell our listeners that Underdog Fantasy was offering $1,000 deposit bonus. And I'm like,
In
or
fact,
1,000% deposit bonus.
In fact, I almost did. So it's
eh.
not 1,000, it is 100%, which is still a very good offer.
No, it is. It's a great offer.
The chat is lit. We got Nick Fortune, Kathy, we've got Evan AR24, who just got themselves entered into the contest. All of you did. Josiah, and Nick says you can call her the boss. There you go. That's
fair.
what I call her anyways. Josiah says, woo. Evan AR24 with the little eyeballs. Since I don't recognize that screen name, make sure you message us on Twitter so we have your information for when you win a prize. That's right. I said when. I'm already predicting you are going to win a prize. Anyways, this is the last week without NFL.
I know. I'm really excited, and it snuck up on us so quickly.
I saw
but it literally just right around the corner.
It is here. I saw a thing. Evan AR24's Colton. Colton, what is up? I saw a thing on Instagram where a guy gave his wife a letter. I don't have to worry about this because you watch football as well, but he said for the past few months, he's been helping out with the dishes and the cleaning and the mowing and all this stuff.
Where this is going.
But he was giving in his notice that he would not be able to do that from Sunday starting at noon until 10 p.m. Monday nights, Thursday, and he was also going to need Saturdays off from 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. for college football. And ultimately, the wife said, sorry, we're short-staffed. You cannot resign. But yeah, get ready for football almost every day. So, And Nick said he hopes that the prize is not a Tostino's party pizza like I offered on my college radio show with Paul. Nick, it will not be. It will be better than that. I promise. We have a lot of prizes. We're going to go over them.
Disgusting.
We're going to go over them a little bit later in the show. But first, we got big headlines.
We have
I
headlines.
guess. Yeah.
Yes, we have headlines. Roster cuts, they were finalized on Tuesday yesterday. It's Wednesday. Is it Wednesday?
It is Wednesday.
Yesterday, I felt like Monday was a week ago, and this week has just been crazy. Very crazy. But I think let's dig into these headlines. And I just want to start with what I feel is one of the biggest ones or most talked about and is going to impact drafting to an extent, possibly, depending.
Yeah.
might already impact people who have been having drafts. Jonathan Taylor, this issue has not been resolved. He has not been traded. He has been put on the PUP list. That's what I call it. The
Yes.
physically unable to perform list. So he will miss at least the first 4 games. And with that,
First of all, real quick, I wanted to jump in and say that the Miami Dolphins wanted to trade for him.
yes, they did.
And the Colts said that they wanted Jalen Waddle in the trade package. And the Dolphins would not budge and give Jalen Waddle.
Makes sense.
I totally get that.
Aren't rumors, maybe not rumors, that the Packers are interested?
Not rumors. It was confirmed that
Okay.
the other team, because there were 2 teams we were told they were interested. The other team were the Green Bay Packers, which
They
what does
already
that say
have-
about Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon and their confidence in them? I know
Mhm.
AJ Dillon's in a contract year, so maybe he would have been part of that package. But still, I think that sends kind of a confusing message, and it would have really burned anybody that had invested in Aaron Jones, because in a backfield of Aaron Jones and Jonathan Taylor, as much as I like Jones, Taylor would definitely have that job.
Yeah. So with those 4 games out, and I didn't get any of these guys last night because I don't know if it's clear who is going to step into that RB1 position for at least the first 4 weeks, and maybe longer if they don't keep Taylor. But they have Deion Jackson, Evan Hull, Zach Moss is even in this list.
Yeah. Which is a confusing list of
it is the confusing. And Moss
who will win.
Still, like, he broke his arm, right? He broke his arm.
He does not think he'll be ready by week 1.
No. Deion Jackson, he started in the final preseason game for them.
Yeah.
And then Hull is their rookie out of Northwestern. And I think that there talks about like him being a primary passing down back.
Yeah, I've heard him referred to as the poor man CMC because he is a really good pass catcher. He was good at Northwestern. I don't know if he can take a full running back workload in the NFL, but in your PPR leagues, are you leaning towards any of them specifically?
I don't know,
or are you staying away completely?
Hull had 55 receptions last year.
Yeah,
that's interesting to me. That could be very valuable, especially in PPR leagues, half PPR leagues.
Yeah.
But there's also, I'm not done though. There's rumors.
But wait, there's more.
Kareem Hunt still hasn't been signed anywhere.
Did I walk into a Billy Mays commercial?
But wait,
there's more.
There's always more. There's some rumors there, but he has been everywhere. Has he not gone on several visits?
He's had a lot of tryouts with no deals. So either he wants too much money, he's cooked, and is just doesn't have it anymore.
He's past his prime, is he not? I'm not even going to get into age because everybody we look up is younger than us. So I'm done with that.
Yeah, not many football players in the NFL older than us, unfortunately.
That's not true. Quarterbacks are much older than me. Come on.
Not all of them. Justin Fields is much younger than you.
Oh, yes.
Rock Hard Purdy, much younger than you.
Okay, we're not talking about early in their career people.
Yeah, no, drafting Jonathan Taylor is risky right now because we don't know what's going to happen. This almost smells like a Le'Veon Bell situation.
Smells.
Yeah.
Do you smell it?
I smell it. It smells like Le'Veon Bell, where he ended up sitting out the whole year. Didn't work out for him, but he did it anyways. And Nick Fortune chiming in that Kareem Hunt is 28 years old. So,
oh my God.
Yes, definitely younger than us by
okay, I don't know if for a running back though, I mean, he's probably seen his best days.
The only thing with him is he has rarely been used as a featured back. So he might still have some tread on the tires. But yeah, in a guillotine league, which
you could stick a penny in him.
You could stick a penny in and see how far up Lincoln he goes. In a guillotine league last night, Jonathan Taylor did not go until I think the 4th or 5th round. Now that's 18 picks each round. So you're talking into the 50s, 70s. Math is hard, but that's a lot of picks of 18 rounds to get to the 4th. And Colton saying, can we not compare our age or compare to our age? I don't like feeling old. Yes, a lot of these guys do make us feel old. But yeah, he fell. Now in a guillotine league, that does make sense because you need performers right away or you're axed out. But still, it's risky in an auction league to invest a lot of capital in them.
No, I agree.
So would you draft him? What's
I've
his
been
price point that you would draft? Put you on the spot here. Would you do 25?
No.
20?
No, what immediately popped into my mind is 10 and under,
10 and under?
which we'll
okay.
never go for.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he
But
won't
it's
go
like maybe 15. I might do 15 or 16. Just for because
my dad wanted you to know that you are younger than Travis Kelce,
oh,
and he's one of your favorites.
he
so.
is. He's a talented man. How old is Travis Kelce?
Older than you.
I know.
Apparently. And that was his first comment. So on the prize wheel, people, all you got to do to get entered for prizes is comment in the chat right now. I have 5 people and there are 7 of you in the chat. So 2 of you still not in. Hop in the chat, say something. Tell us if you would draft Jonathan Taylor.
We'll be talking about that prize wheel later on the show. Give some details out. We got some good prizes.
We do, for sure. 15 for me.
15. I said 15, 16 is what I leaned on. When I really thought about it, he's not going for under 10.
Yeah.
He's not going to do that.
Right.
But I think I would risk it to see. It's going to suck. So even if he sits out this year and then he plays next year, he's still talented.
Yes.
So you could contract him or keep him if you're in a keeper league at that 15, 16. And I think that's a good deal. But you have to keep a spot on your bench for him all year.
And shout out to One Sharp Shark in the chat. J Mark wears Army boots. I don't have any Army boots. Maybe I should get some. But I don't have any at this time. So I apologize. Your comment is incorrect at this time. Before we keep going about these NFL headlines, I want to let you know that college football fans, are you ready for week 1? Technically, week 0 already happened. Now we enter the official week 1 of college football, and DraftKings Sportsbook is hooking you up with a can't-miss offer to start the season strong. This week, new customers can bet just $5 on college football and score $200 in bonus bets instantly. That is awesome. Anything can happen in college football. Your team could go from unranked to dynasty mode in just a couple of years. Changes come fast. The only thing that's a lock is the great offers from DraftKings Sportsbook. One of the big ones right now, Minnesota is taking on the Nebraska Cornhuskers, who we do not like, of course, but Minnesota's a 7.5-point favorite, and that is going to be tough to cover. Oh man, I think I have to go with Nebraska there. Anyways, life is more fun when you're in on the action. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code SGP. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 in college football, only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code SGP. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms. All right. Should we get back into these?
Well, that was our main headline. I think the next thing was roster cuts, but Justin, you're jumping ahead.
I'm sorry.
We haven't even covered the one question you're supposed to ask me every show.
Oh, you are correct. First of all, shout out to Josiah, who says, yeah, Minnesota. He's going for Minnesota, obviously, but he did boo my Nebraska pick. Shout out to Eric, another brilliant interaction idea by J Mark. I can't take credit. It's all Mrs. J Mark over here, the Mermark. No longer J Mark's wifey on Twitter. But yes, Miranda, one of the big parts of our show is our whiskey. What are we drinking today?
Today, we are drinking Ezra Brooks Rye. And if you were at the expo and made it to our booth on the Friday night opener, you might have tried this.
Yeah.
We're trying it today. I'm actually trying it for the first time. I don't know how I haven't tried it. But anyway, I didn't try it that night.
I am not trying it for the first time, but yes, you
are. But we're trying it for the first time in an old fashioned on the show, and we'll do a review later on. But this is, and then we'll talk about this later, but one of the prizes that you can win on the prize wheel is a bottle of Ezra Brooks Rye.
Yeah.
And now I'm scary.
You're scary?
I'm not scary. I'm scared.
Sometimes when she's mad, she's a little scary.
No, but I'm going to try this old fashioned that I did not make.
I think I did a good job. Eric says football power couple, One Sharp Shark, Minnesota. I spent a week a week there, one night. Yeesh. A week and one night. That's interesting. And if you're not in the chat, if you're listening to us on the podcast, on your podcast platform, make sure you get on YouTube and check us out on the chat. Have some fun. We're giving prizes away these first 3 live shows. We will draw 9/7 before the game.
We're not giving prizes away on this show.
No. Sorry.
You said that wrong. Let's correct it.
Oh,
On 9/7, our show on 9/7, our live show. We should just discuss this now. If you joined today's show,
yes.
what am I missing
9/4,
here?
Monday.
9/4,
Yeah,
Monday's
Monday.
show and Thursday's show next week. You will and you
And you
interact with
comment.
us on the
Yes.
chat. You got to comment. You will automatically be put on our prize wheel. At the end of the show on 9/7, we will draw for prizes, and we have some awesome prizes.
Should we talk about some
Let's
of them?
just do it because we need to let people know
I got to get my mouse
what
to
they're
cooperate here. I got
getting
too
on
many
YouTube
things.
for.
Right. So we do have to start off. This is alphabetical, so I did not put this first on purpose. But what's better than a one-on-one consultation with us? I mean, talk about your fantasy football team, whether it's waivers, auction, whatever you want to do. We got handshakes of 2 Bar Spirits. If you are not part of the whiskey world, especially on bourbon TikTok, which I have hung out on a couple times, this is a handshake. It is basically
2 ounces.
2 ounces. Yep. It's 5.3 milliliters. So it's like your airplane bottles, basically. And you're just going to have to trust us. We are only putting the whiskey in there. There will be nothing else in there.
Oh my God.
Just throwing that out there, unless you're a Husker fan. No, just kidding. We have 3 $25 gift cards from Ace Spirits. Shout out to Luke at Ace Spirits who gave those.
Yes.
We have 5 $5 credits to Better Edge. Shout out to Greg at Better Edge who gave us those. We got the bottle of Ezra Brooks that you already talked about. We have a Did It consult with Dave Heilman, Dynasty Dorks, better known as Dynasty Dorks. So get on there and consult with him, especially in your Dynasty leagues. He's a pro at that. We have shout out to Fantasy Pros for giving us this to give away, but a Hall of Fame subscription. That's a $71 value. We got some sports cards mixed in here. We got a Jimmy G. I about said Gimme G.
Gimme G.
Gimme G. Jimmy G. Rookie game worn card. We got Keeper's Heart handshakes. We have a Kyle Pitts card, Old Potrero handshake, Old Fashioned Football T-shirt, our premium whiskey handshakes. Miranda does not know that I am taking handshakes
Wait a
from
minute.
her
Wait a minute. Wait a
premium
minute.
whiskey
Wait a
that
minute.
she keeps in her office.
What? Which one?
It's the premium handshakes. It is the ones that are in your office.
I
that you
didn't
don't
okay
let me-
this. Wait a second. I didn't okay this. We're not giving Blantons.
in a handshake. Yeah.
We're giving a handshake of Blantons.
Oh yeah, that's one of the sought after prizes. I feel like for the whiskey world.
You didn't tell me that we were giving away my whiskey.
I knew she'd say no. See, I'm looking out for you, Kat. We have
This is my whiskey. It's kept in my office for a reason, and it's my whiskey. I have a bottle of Blantons. Is it all of them? We're not. I am drawing the line at Voyage 23.
It's Blanton's.
You physically can't. we
Weller,
can't find Voyage 23.
and Angel's Envy Rye.
Okay,
Those
I'm
are
okay.
the 3 I considered the premiums. We'll see if I'm sleeping on the couch tonight, everybody. We got
You didn't run
Brian,
this by me.
We got a Brian Urlacher rookie card. We got 2 SGPN merch store gift cards and a Warren Sapp All Pro card that has the little jersey piece, game worn jersey piece in it. Anyways, going back to the chat here now that I've clicked back. One Sharp Shark, if I win the one-on-one consultation, can we spend our time talking trash about Moneyline Max? Sure, if that's what we want to do. My mom said, yeah, the Blantons. Dad said, share, Mer. Come on.
I will share with you guys that come on over to our house. You can always sample and taste and have a pour of my premium whiskeys that apparently that I keep in my office.
And One Sharp Shark also said, can give away my wife's rain boots while you're at it. If you want to send them to the winner, we will add them to the prize list.
That would be great.
That would be good.
Let us know if you're serious.
Yeah, I know we've been rambling on here, especially if you're listening on the podcast. That's okay though. That just shows you what you're missing out. But we were in Omaha a couple weeks ago now, 2 weekends ago.
2 weekends ago.
And we got home after a concert. It was late at night. We hadn't eaten dinner, grabbed some food, actually had it door dashed, and we did a best ball draft.
Late night best ball.
Because nothing says romance like best
Best
ball
ball
draft
in bed.
in bed in the
I was
hotel.
gonna say in the bedroom, in bed. I don't know. In bed.
However, where can we play best ball?
You can play best ball over on Underdog Fantasy. August is almost over, and you know what that means. Time is running out for you to draft your fantasy football team on Underdog Fantasy. Get championship ready for your home league by trying out best ball on Underdog Fantasy. All you do is one live snake draft, no waivers, no trades. You set it, forget it, and Underdog does the rest. Try it out with Underdog's Best Ball Mania tournament, the largest fantasy football contest of all time, with $15 million of total prizes up for grabs, including everybody, an absurd $3 million going to the winner. Do you have what it takes to win? To win it all? The time is now. The last day to draft your fantasy football team is September 7th. Visit underdogfantasy.com or find them in the App Store and sign up with promo code SGPN to get your first deposit doubled up to $100. Again, that's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN.
Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. And we're also brought to you by our Patreon. And we want you for SGPN. I just want you guys to know I've been part of the SGPN family for 3 years now, almost 3. I guess it's a little over 2. Basically bugged Adam until he would give me a spot as an editor. Rod Villagomez pulled me into podcasting on his awesome show when he was running the SGPN Fantasy Football, and he just kept pulling me back. I never thought that I would be a podcaster. Then one day I had this idea. I said to Miranda, I go, you know what? It'd be awesome to take fantasy football and combine it with whiskey. And Miranda said, oh, you could call it old-fashioned football and drink an old-fashioned. I said, this is why you're the brains of the operation. Anyways, kick back, sign up for the Patreon to get access to exclusive contests, including the NFL Win Totals contest with a $1,000 first place prize. You only have a little bit longer to get entered in that, so make sure you join the Patreon. And this week's Patreon pick'em is all week 1 college football. The Patreon is a great way to support the network and fight back against corporate gambling. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. Okay, now this is more of an open forum pod this week or today. We are going over NFL news, headlines, had a lot of roster cuts we're going to talk about. But if you got questions about your fantasy football team, feel free to throw them in the chat. We'll do our best to answer, or we'll do it a takeaway and do some deep dives into it. Anyways, why don't you go on with your roster or your NFL headlines? I don't know if you're ready for roster cuts.
We're ready for roster cuts. This just happened this week. On Tuesday, it was finalized. All of the teams went from teams of 90 down to 53. That's a lot of cuts that happen, and some of them are interesting. And I'm just gonna start with some of the ones that jumped out to me. For Arizona, Kyler Murray, he's on the physically unable to perform. I just call it PUP.
The PUP
PUP
list.
is fine.
Yeah.
PUP, just PUP. I'm not gonna say. I forget what it means half the time. They just can't play. Come on, people. He's out for the first 4 games due to torn ACL recovery.
Yeah, which we kind of thought. I think he'll miss longer than that, but
so he wasn't cut. But
Right.
this is just, we
roster
have him.
moves.
Well, we have him on the PUP list.
Yeah.
Who they cut was their backup quarterback, Colt McCoy.
Yeah, veteran
So
Colt McCoy.
they also have rookie Clayton Tune, but a couple days ago they traded and got Joshua Dobbs.
Yeah.
And people are saying he's likely going to be the one to start.
I am not saying that. If you follow me on Twitter, I said even though they won't announce a starter, this is Clayton Tune season.
You think
in my
so?
opinion. I do. I think he looked pretty good in the preseason. I know Josh Dobbs knows the system, so theoretically he could jump in, but you still got to build that rapport with your receiving core and everything. I think it's Clayton Tune season. I think Clayton Tune is more mobile than Josh Dobbs, and yeah, I think he ends up winning the job there.
Interesting. I've been staying away from Arizona in my drafts.
Same.
Just
I still
completely
wouldn't
staying
recommend
away.
drafting them.
No, just I feel like they're in a not even a rebuild. I feel like they're getting ready for a rebuild.
Well,
Like,
they traded some players away. They cut some surprising players. I think they're not hiding the fact that I think they are tanking.
they're gonna suck this year.
Yeah.
Like they're like openly
Well, I think they're
making all
tanking
the
for Caleb
moves.
Williams, who is he's I guess expected to be the number 1 pick. He's been
What do you
compared
think
to
of them,
Patrick
like, just
Mahomes.
making it kind of obvious? What do you think of that?
It's interesting, but we know what happens in the NFL, and I think they're frustrated with Kyler. They gave him a lot of money, and it just hasn't worked out. Now, obviously, the injury wasn't his fault, but I do think they're going to be one of the worst teams, and I think they know that, and they're just ready to move on from Kyler. Nick says Cardinals will stink this year. Agreed.
That's why I have stayed away. Speaking of quarterbacks, I'm going to bring up the Bears. We cut our QB2, PJ Walker.
No longer QB2.
No longer. Former. But he was given $2 million this spring.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. And we still cut him.
Yeah.
We also cut Nathan Peterman.
Now, see, I liked the PJ Walker signing when we did it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he would bring a good backup just to Justin Fields, because you don't have to change the offense a lot, because he can run like Fields. Well, he can't run like Fields.
I won't say nobody, but
right.
Fields
he can
is special.
run the ball and kind of fit that offense. But special agent Bajent.
Agent Bajent?
Yes. Special agent Bajent.
Tyson Bajent are an undrafted rookie.
Yeah. Out of Shepherd University, I believe. I was excited when we signed him to the to our roster just for a tryout purpose. I figured he would end up on the practice squad, and now he didn't. I did see that they might bring Nathan Peterman back on the practice squad, though. I kind of like another target, which I think you're going to talk about in a little bit. So I'll cover that then. By the way, Nick said, "Are you disappointed you did not get Trey Lance?" Absolutely not. I have been
Is this the real question?
I've been out on Trey Lance from the beginning. One sharp shark, your friendly neighborhood Peterman. That would have been a great team name if Fields did end up getting hurt and Nathan Peterman was starting. And then Jill Hoy says, hypothetical question: if you're in a fantasy league with experts and you can barely tell the difference between the Bears and the Cubs, where do you start, or do you just give up? You start by listening to Old Fashioned Football, because we are giving you everything you need to win your league, especially in auction draft.
So I'm going to just throw this out there. Like and I think I've said this before, but one of the things I really like about our preseason shows is that you can go back and listen to them. The season hasn't started. It's not too late to go back. We covered a division breakdown. It's now some of the players have changed. Some of the players, I don't know if we really talked about anybody who's gotten cut.
Most of the top players are still there. Yeah.
So you can go back and listen to those. Go back in if you're prepping for your first auction draft. We had our 10 commandments of auction fantasy football that we did, which I'm just going to say it now. I do normally stick to those. I realize in our listener league, I threw them out the window.
Yeah.
So
very quickly I noticed. And then we
sometimes you just have to go with your gut. Sometimes it's like I want to make this happen, and you have an opportunity and you take it. And it honestly goes like that sometimes.
Go back and watch the live listener draft to kind of get an idea of how the drafts work. But when Miranda continues to bid on Patrick Mahomes, I think you can see a little bit of my soul shrink and shrink. Like, or are we going to get a running back? We have zero money left. Anyways.
We did have to draft 9 $1 players.
Yes.
We were not the only team drafting. I think most of
Josiah
the league
pointing out that we drafted Mahomes immediately. Yeah, blew our budget there.
We know we drafted Travis Kelce and we stacked
him
with Mahomes, which is pretty amazing.
We'll see. Hopefully.
Never done that before. We did it in the listener league. We can't win the whiskey anyway, but we're gonna have fun.
That's right. And like Miranda was saying, go back, listen to those podcasts to prepare. You got divisions. You got our top 10s in each position: quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end. And maybe you'll win the one-on-one consult and you can ask us questions. Maybe that'll help.
Hopefully we don't argue in front of you during the consults.
We might. What do you got?
All
What
right,
else?
let's get back to these.
The roster moves.
Yes, the Jets. They cut last year's rookie, Zonovan Knight. And I feel like they're saying like Cook is ready to go
Yeah.
in this backfield.
Yeah.
So they got rid of Zonovan Knight.
And I think that means Brees Hall is probably healthy and ready to go too.
Yeah, I would say that he is.
I'm staying away from that because I don't know if
I don't
young
know.
guy
This
Brees is going to
Jets
get it.
team is
Dalvin
either
Cook.
going to blow up and be like this mega team, or it's just going to be I don't know. I've been kind of staying away from them too.
I two things I saw. Aaron Rodgers is on of people that were surveyed. He is the top hated NFL player of all time. That's including past players and current.
So I have to bring this up. One of my coworkers, Kim Moore, she is a huge Packer fan, except she hates Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
And she just can't
I remember having
support that.
and I despise Rodgers, and it's not just because he was a Packer.
Mhm.
I respected Brett Favre. Brett Favre was a hell of a quarterback, gunslinger. It's just Rodgers in that attitude of
The
being
ego,
an asshole. Yeah.
yes, he does. He comes off as an arrogant asshole.
Did you see the clip from the preseason game of him and the Giants linebacker bickering?
No.
Basically he threw the ball and it was a very late push from the Giants guy, and Rodgers kind of got up in his face and said, "Come on, you got to show some respect, bro." And the Giants guy, I don't know who he thought he was fooling. Well, first I guess Rodgers said, "I haven't even heard of you. I don't even know who you are." And the Giants linebacker says, "I don't know who you are." Come on, everybody knows who Aaron Rodgers is. You got to come up with a better comeback than that. Jesus. Anyways, go on.
Oh man. Okay. This isn't really anything to do with
Sorry, just while we're on the topic of Rodgers, Nick said his wife Katie said she will cheer for the Jets, quote, except for that stupid Rodgers guy.
Oh,
end
thank
quote.
you, Katie. But really, we don't need to cheer for the Jets.
And arrogant Rodgers, not Aaron. Our Mark 57 says.
Yes.
Anyways.
So this isn't really a roster cut, but I did note this down in the middle of my roster cut notes that I wanted to talk about here. Jerry Jeudy.
Mm-hmm.
He was placed on the PUP list,
Was
not
he?
injured reserve.
I missed that.
Yes.
I thought they were not going to place him. They placed him on it.
I read that they placed him on it. Now you're making me second guess myself.
You keep going. I'm looking.
You look
now.
this up. Make sure that's confirmed. But yes, I had him noted down as being on the PUP list, which they were considering injured reserve, and they didn't. So he's out at least 4 games due to an injured hamstring.
Okay.
Now tell me, you are texting.
Well,
You are not
somebody
looking
asked
verified.
when we were on.
Okay.
Shout out to Benji. When are you on? We are on now.
We are on
Ben.
now, Ben. We're on
Um,
now. So continue with that because I'm going to go into the Patriots cuts here.
Oh, he's watching already. Go on
Okay.
with the Patriots cuts.
All right.
I will look up Jerry Jeudy.
They cut all of their backup quarterbacks behind Mac Jones. What does that say about their faith in Mac Jones? Or there's all kinds of like conspiracy theorists coming out of the woodwork here. I've already been seeing the memes. But there are rumors that this was all been done because they're bringing back Tom Brady. We already talked earlier. I don't know how earlier, but he has a gap. Like this year is like a gap year before
This is perfect because Nick said, "Aren't you shocked that the Patriots only have one quarterback on the roster?" So
Yes, that's what I say. They cut all of them.
you are correct, by the way, on Jeudy.
I am correct.
Yes.
Thank you. Jeez, you made me second guess myself.
And mom backing you up. Jeudy on the PUP list. Saw that earlier. See, she's got her
See?
notification.
Oh my
set.
goodness. My mom is going to be like, oh, because your mom,
Yeah.
we have a family league that we're drafting in Saturday night. And my parents are like, they will have no
Anyways,
clue.
sorry for the ADHD. It's our first time
Yeah.
live, so you're gonna have some of that.
But really, you interrupted my Patriots.
yeah,
picks.
go on with your Patriots.
So,
because
in
I
the
have something to say
conspiracy
about that.
theorists that Tom Brady is coming out of retirement, he doesn't start his analyst or what is he? Announcer
He's
for
announcing.
for who? For
I believe it's CBS.
Okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
next season he's going to be announcing, and There is the September 10th game there. It's the Thank You Tom game. They're going to be honoring him.
And that's when
And
he'll
so
suit up.
everybody, yes, people are saying he's really going to suit up and he's coming back. And that's why they cut all their backup quarterbacks. And
That's
yeah.
funny. Speaking of their quarterbacks, last year the Bears creamed the Patriots. It's one of the one of the games that we looked really good at. Sorry, Cody. But they pulled Mac Jones in that game and put in Bailey Zappi, and he scored 2 touchdowns like right away. And I thought he looked really good. And I thought this Patriots offense is going to cook with Zappi. I think he's better than Mac Jones. And then they didn't start him again. They went back to Mac Jones. I wouldn't mind the Bears adding him to the practice squad as a backup quarterback. See what he develops. It's still a young guy. He's entering his 3rd year, I believe. So I don't know. We'll see. I think the expectation is he'll end up back with the Patriots practice squad. But one of the funny things about live shows, if you hear background noise of our dog, she's going crazy.
She is
in the
oh, there we go.
But anyways, proceed.
Okay, well those are the things that really jumped out to me. I feel like you have a completely different list. So
yeah, well, first of all, one sharp shark on Brady. Brady is more washed up than my hands after cooking chicken. I just don't wash mine. Just little raw chicken's good for everybody.
No, that's disgusting, Justin.
And Nick says there will be a lot of swearing, feelings hurt, and a lot of whiskey drank at the Fantasy Football Family League. In every league, there's a lot of feelings hurt and yelling and swearing. Anyways, no, I liked your list. Some of the other ones that jumped out at me, the Broncos were going to cut tight end Albert O. And that's somebody that every year it seems like he kind of gets hyped up like, oh, this is his year. He's going to be a relevant tight end.
Well, he almost got cut.
He almost got cut, and then he got traded to the Eagles instead, so he'll sit behind Dallas Goedert. Still irrelevant. People don't hype him up. The Vikings, they cut Dwayne McBride, who was a young guy, I believe, out of UAB. That surprised me. And then they signed Myles Gaskin. I would much rather have Dwayne McBride from a football standpoint. Both of them irrelevant fantasy football wise. Ravens cut Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, I did see that.
Melvin Gordon is still in the league.
Melvin Gordon is still around. He was around, I feel like he was around. Now, I'm probably wrong because there's that whole COVID time warp where everything before and everything after is just not, it doesn't seems like
that's fair
forever ago, or I don't know. But anyway, I feel like he's been around since we started fantasy football.
Yeah, no, I feel like since you started,
I remember
fantasy
drafting
football,
Melvin Gordon and being excited about him.
I know he used to be relevant. But anyways, they did sign him to the practice squad. The Giants cut Cole Beasley. I didn't expect him to make the roster, but it does show that their receivers are healthy finally. And then we already talked about some of these guys, but the PUP list, so they'll miss at least the first 4 games. You got Jonathan Taylor, Kyler Murray, linebacker Von Miller for the Bills. That's a big one for them. So if you're thinking about drafting that Bills defense, just keep in mind they will be without Von Miller for the first 4 games. Bengals offensive tackle Lyle Collins. He's crucial in blocking for Joe Burrow and protecting Joe Burrow. That's a big one. Chargers wide receiver Jalen Guyton. So I think Quentin Johnston, who I got outbid on last night and was very upset that I could not bid anymore because I had reached my max. And then Colts tight end Jelani Woods. I don't know how the Colts offense is going to be with Anthony Richardson throwing the ball. He didn't look great in preseason. He's going to be a guy that runs the ball a lot more than he has success throwing it. But I do like Jelani Woods. I think he's a good tight end, and I was excited for him. But he's possibly going to be out the first 4 games.
He's not going to be top 10.
No, I don't think he'll be top 10. Not at all.
So he's not really relevant for fantasy.
By the way, Nick remembers how your family plays Monopoly. I think he mainly remembers how you and your sister play Risk.
That's what I don't think he's ever seen my family play Monopoly.
I think it's Risk.
It's just as intense as the Risk game he witnessed between my sister and myself.
Yeah.
But no, you have to leave that. I think I said this last night. Leave your hurt feelings at the draft, just like you leave Monopoly at the table when it's over.
That's right. And then the other big kind of headline, Joe Burrow, he did return to practice today. He's been nursing that calf injury. It's going to be interesting to see if he does indeed start week 1. They're thinking he will.
This is upsetting to me. I think he better. Like he is my QB1 in one of my leagues.
The SGPN doctor, go follow him on Twitter at
Mhm.
SGPN Doc. He said this is a really good sign and he expects him to play week 1. However, it is going to, that calf injury can linger, he mentioned, and, pushing off to throw the ball, running, those are all going to be
It
some
is-
concerns. Not that Burrow runs a lot.
No,
He is
he's
more of
not.
a
He is one
true-
of the top 10 quarterbacks, in my opinion, that doesn't really run. One of those, where did I have him? I can't remember where I ranked him right offhand. But he's up there.
Yeah, he was up there on yours.
He gets the fantasy points without having to rush.
One sharp shark, he or she who controls Kamchatka controls the world. #risk. I'll go with that strategy next time. And you did hurt Nick's feelings last night.
Is this because of the texting?
Anyways,
This has to be the texting. Unless, did I snipe somebody? Because I missed it if I sniped somebody.
the Joe Burrow thing is concerning.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't have any questions fantasy football wise in the chat right now. So did you have any other headlines to throw out?
No, I don't think so.
No. All right. You want to talk a little bit about some of our drafts? Did you notice anything unusual? I have
Yes,
one
okay.
glaring thing because we've done 2 auction drafts, our listener league, and then a home league.
I wanted to
we've had
talk
for
about our
10
listener
years.
league. Let's just start with the listener league.
Okay.
And then we'll go. We've said 10 years. I think we said 10 or 11 years last year. It's like 12 years going on in that league.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It's been a long time. So our listener league, you can still find that on YouTube. It was a 3-hour ordeal.
Yeah.
If you really want
As
to
startup
go back and
auctions, I mean,
watch
they
that.
tend to
Yes.
be.
And that's one thing, like last night in our contract keeper league where we're drafting it we were done in an hour. It's just so different. I haven't drafted, I guess, since last year, our last year's listener. So
I
never
haven't
mind.
drafted a startup since last year.
But
Look at this. I got the listener league results pulled up.
Oh,
if you want to look
man.
at them.
But one of the things with us is I didn't stick to my rules. It's weird because we had to be on a team together. We had to kind of agree, kind of not agree. I know you weren't happy about Patrick Mahomes. Not something I would do. I would never, ever, ever spend $44 on a quarterback. I can't say that anymore because I clicked it.
As I was like, really? Again?
I think the most I will spend is like $15, and we spent triple that. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah. I wish I knew how to shrink this down here. Anyways,
But
I've never said that before.
yeah, our 10 commandments of auction fantasy football kind of went out the window for that.
Yeah. Just to recap our team, we got Patrick Mahomes for $44 and Travis Kelce for $65.
Over half our budget right there.
And Cooper Kupp for $48. So our running backs, we ended up getting Damian Pierce for $23, Deuce Vaughn for $4. Let's see, we got some other running backs here.
Deuce Vaughn
Donta Foreman
was our first running. Can we just say that Deuce Vaughn
was
the first running back
I-
we got?
What are we doing? Donta Foreman for $1, Jerick McKinnon for $1. I do like McKinnon this year.
I like Zay Flowers.
We got wide receivers, Zay Flowers, $7. Rasheed Rice for $1. Darnell Mooney for $1. Jared Goff for $1. Dawson Knox for $1. Zay Jones for $1. And Darius Slayton for $1. It's all we had.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nick, for catching the dirty mind. I don't even know if you caught it, but anyways, did you catch
what?
My dirty comment?
No.
I was talking about we're looking at Sleeper at our draft, and the players that are left are like covering half the screen. And I said, I wish I knew how to make this down here smaller. And then I said, I've never said that before.
No, I didn't catch that. Anyway.
But anyways, between this, do you want to talk what else jumped out at you at this one?
Well,
Anything?
I will just say that we had to draft 9 $1 players, but we were not alone. Basically, the entire league at the end, we were all drafting $1 players, which doesn't normally happen. So we were all everybody was throwing their money, which was just interesting. Like if you look at the last,
a lot of the last teams
a
had
dollar.
Colton would expect nothing less with my dirty mind. You're gonna find yourself with that in auctions though. I really believe in spending the majority of your money on your starting lineup. Now, I do not believe that includes having Deuce Vaughn in your starting lineup.
He's not. So that doesn't mean it's not a snake draft.
We
He
did-
just got nominated and we took him.
You were on the phone, and I did make an executive decision, by the way. You were on the phone earlier today at work. The Jonathan Taylor news, or maybe that was yesterday, was announced. So I went and got Evan Hull and dropped Donta Foreman because I'm not a Donta Foreman believer this year.
No, that was I don't know.
That was you panicked and didn't know who to nominate, right?
I think so.
I
Well,
believe I
didn't
even
panic.
said
It's not,
Donta Foreman.
I did nominate him, but we didn't. Did we get him for $1? Was he
Yes.
one of our $1? Yeah.
Yes,
Oh well, Justin. Anyway,
we have a 49%
that's what stuck out
chance
to me
of
from our
winning,
listener league, that
so.
everybody was overbidding on
Yeah.
players and was left overspending on players,
Right.
left with several players at the end that everybody had to get for $1.
And then last night we had, like we said, our home league. We call it the one that we run. Now there's a lot of contracts in that one, so that does change the strategy. But
I was irritated. This
there was one thing
irritated
that
me.
stood out.
I didn't have to fight for a $1 kicker. Great. Didn't have to get pissed off this year about that. But
And you kept a defense, right?
I kept a defense
So you didn't even have to worry
for
about
like
that.
$1. So I didn't have to worry about a defense either, because I hate getting into bidding wars over defenses and kickers. I think it's going to go up for a vote next year that we don't have defenses and kickers in that league, which I'm okay with because
It was at least thrown out that no kickers.
no kickers. I thought it was no D, no K.
Maybe.
I don't know. Anyway, but
Nick says you're welcome, by the way, for not outbidding you.
okay. Thanks, Nick. But anyway, one of the things that I didn't like is I always go into those contract and keeper leagues looking to get a deal on some of the rookies. You want to get some of the rookies at low dollar values because that's where it's valuable and where the strategy comes in on these keeper leagues.
Right.
You can contract them for up to 3 years in this league for $5 additional every year. And that was not going to happen with the prices that people were paying. Bijan Robinson went for, what was it, almost 60?
Yeah.
That's
It was in
insane.
the 50s.
I know that he's talked up, and I don't buy into the Bijan Robinson
Not
hype
for
this
that.
year. But really, are you going to keep him? Let's say he's a dud this year. Are you going to, like, where's your value in a contract if you
Right.
think that in the future you're going to be contracted at like $65,
Yeah.
$70 in your future? That's not a good.
Yeah. So our contracts,
bargain.
they go up $5 every
Mhm.
year, $200 budget. And it comes out
So
of that.
you're not going to be keeping him long term.
Jameer Gibbs went for 44, which I
That
know
too.
you're on the
I
Jameer Gibbs
am,
train.
but I'm not at
but-
$44. So
yeah.
I backed out of that. And again, that's one of the people I thought, and I guess I should have known, being in Iowa, mainly Iowa
I
League,
told you.
Sam Laporta. I wanted to get him. I don't think he's going to be super fantasy relevant this year, but I think next year or the year after he's going to be. So I really wanted him to be like a flyer, like a low dollar auction bidding. And I don't remember what he went
13,
for,
I
but
believe.
I was out. Like I couldn't bid on him anymore because this was towards the end of the draft where I
that-
expected him to. He
yeah.
was $0. Like his average, whatever his value was $0.
Oh,
And
sorry. One Sharp Shark always coming through with the comments. You've got to be in this YouTube next time we're on, especially if One Sharp Shark is there. Bijan Robinson getting more money wasted on him than my ex-wife.
it
Love
was
it.
crazy.
No, I wanted Quentin
But-
Johnston for
yeah.
the Chargers.
Mhm.
My max bid, I was willing to spend my max bid because I only had 2 spots left to fill. My max bid was $22 and I got outbid. So
Yeah.
unless he blows up and Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are gone
Mhm.
next year, you're probably not going to keep Quentin Johnson
Even
at
our
23,
rookie
$24.
quarterback, CJ Stroud. Was it CJ Stroud? No, it was no.
Was it Bryce Young?
No,
Oh,
Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, that
Thank
was-
you.
that was
Let's
me,
just
though.
go through the 3.
That-
He even went higher than I thought he should
yeah,
have gone.
I had to spend $9 on him.
Which I guess when you're talking about the fact that we just spent $44 on Patrick Mahomes in another league, $9, whatever. But still, like, you're not getting.
Patrick Mahomes, he is not.
No, he's not. No, I just mean.
Yeah, no, I know.
When you're looking at a contract, okay, you could keep him for one more year at that $9.
Right.
If you want to keep him past that and you don't know What if he doesn't break out right away? We don't
Yeah.
often see that these rookie quarterbacks are
Like,
amazing, top 10 right away.
right.
And so you're going to have to contract him. And that's what I was looking for in this league, were those rookies that I could get at low dollar. And it didn't happen.
Right.
It didn't happen for me. So I am happy with my team, but I didn't get any value low dollar players
Same.
for keeper. So I'm going to have to really work the waivers this year.
Yeah, for sure. Because waivers for our league is $3 the next year.
Most of my keepers, I went in, I had the highest budget in this league, but I kept 6 players, but I had a lot of low dollar, great value players
Right.
that I kept.
Yeah, because you work the waivers.
Mhm.
That's why you listen to Old Fashioned Football. We're going to be doing waivers every Monday, which brings up a good point. We can remind you at the end too. But if you listen to our pods on the SGPN Fantasy feed on your podcast listening platform, we will not be there during the regular season. So please make sure you go over to the Old Fashioned Football podcast feed and subscribe there to make sure you continue to get it. We will be doing waivers every Monday, and then we're going to be doing kind of a start sit, open forum, have some guests, all kind of fun
On
stuff.
our Thursday show. And that
Thursdays will be distillers if we end up getting a distiller.
That'll also be
Yeah.
interviews. If we hope to, we're getting some lined up to have more interviews during the season to continue that, since it was really fun for us this off season, getting all the interviews. So Thursday nights or Thursday shows, we plan to have that be when we schedule our interviews.
That reminds me,
Mm-hmm.
the National Whiskey Competition or whatever just named the top distillery in California for 2023.
Savage.
And it was Savage and Cook, who will be returning around October because they are releasing their own. Yes, they're no longer blending other whiskeys. They will have their very own. So they're releasing that, I believe, soon. And then Dylan will come back on our show.
Carney will rejoin us on the show. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
And excited for them.
And if you like whiskey, let's see, go back and listen to, we've had Savage and Cook, Uncle Nearest, Keeper's Heart, Two Bar Spirits, 10th Mountain Whiskey. Am I forgetting one?
We had Luke. He has a
from
lot of
Spirits
whiskey
was
knowledge.
Fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody.
I know, and now I feel bad because we suck.
We're not supposed to forget people.
No.
Looking real quick here. Oh, the Foundry. We had
the
the Foundry.
Oh my God.
Because we were actually there.
Yes, so we
were
went
at the
there.
Foundry.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking of who have we interviewed? Like I'm thinking about our face, like virtual. No, we weren't. We didn't have to go.
Nick
virtual.
would like to know if he could be a guest. Nick, we will have you on sometime for sure. Why did you laugh at that? I'm sorry if she laughed at you, Nick.
All right.
Do you have any other fantasy football stuff right now?
No. You mentioned subscribing to Old Fashioned Football.
Yeah.
If you are listening to us on the SGPN Fantasy Football feed, please go subscribe to us on our own feed at Old Fashioned Football on the SGPN network.
We're spreading our wings. We're flying on our own.
I mean, we've been on our own feed since very end of March this year, but we've still been under the fantasy football feed as well. So if that is where you're listening to us, please go subscribe to Old Fashioned Football, because starting next week, that is where you will find us. We will no longer be under the SGPN Fantasy Football channel.
That's right. Pouring you some whiskey because
it's time.
It's whiskey time. Again, we're drinking Ezra Brooks Rye. It's a 90 proof rye, age 24 months, so 2 years. I prefer saying 2 years. You know, it's like people, how old is your child? Well, they're 56 months. I can't do math. Tell me how many years old they are. Charred in American oak barrels, of course. Do you want to talk about the history on this one, or you want me to?
Well, Justin.
Real quick, we have a question in the chat.
Okay, what's the question?
I don't like the question, but Mr. Benjamin Lau says, what happens when your Bears quarterback snaps his arm week 1? We got special Agent Bajent.
Dare you?
But don't.
I hope we don't have to ever rely on Agent Bajent, but how dare you?
How dare you? Stinking Vikings fans. Anyways, what did you want me to talk about it, or did you want to?
Unlike how we normally do it, I normally put together the history, the background information, but Justin, you filled in for me this week. Why don't you take it away?
All right. This is made in Bardstown,
So I get
Kentucky.
to sit back and
And
sniff
yeah.
and taste.
This is made in. Do all your sniffing over there
Okay.
while I talk. Made in Bardstown, Kentucky. It is on the Kentucky Bourbon Trail, even though we're drinking rye, obviously. Born and bred in Kentucky, Ezra Brooks has been filling glasses with American bourbon since 1957. In 2018, it found a new home in Bardstown, which is the bourbon capital of the world. It's known as the Lux Row Distillers, so named because of the distinct row of trees on the historic property. The distillery boasts a 18,000 square feet, 6-barrel warehouse is at capacity, and it's got a 43-foot custom copper still for Ezra Brooks and its bourbons and ryes. And also made there Rebel Bourbon, David Nicholson, and Blood Oath. So you can definitely go check out all of those. Shout out to the chat. Katie Fortune. Hi, Justin and Murr.
Hey, Katie.
Hi, Katie. This is like I said, 90 proof. Now, this is a low rye. Now, we've seen high ryes, but this one is just barely. To be a rye, in case you are not a whiskey person, to be a rye, you have to be over 50% rye. This is 51, so just barely.
Just barely cutting it.
51% rye, 45% corn, 4% malt. And they say it's bottled in an honest 90 proof. It's a real straight shooter. So, what'd you get from the sniffing?
I knew
Putting you on the spot.
I know. Good old sniff and taste. So I'm still debating. This one's difficult
It
for me.
smells sweet to me.
It smells sweet. It's a very pleasant aroma.
Yeah. Sweet.
But
There's
I
a
can't-
fruit there.
It is. I can't pick it out. Is that
Apricot?
maybe that's the one I normally can't pick out? I'm
I
just
think
not
it's an
good with
apricot.
apricots.
I think you definitely get an apricot. Again,
It smells like fall.
we're not, it smells like fall. So this is like the basic bitch
No.
version of whiskey.
No, there's no pumpkin. Well, there's some spice in it.
Yeah.
But maybe an apricot,
Yeah.
warm apricot spice.
If you've not listened to us before and you're joining because you jumped in on the YouTube because we're live, we are not whiskey sommeliers.
No.
We kind of just wing
We're
it.
just-
We're not hoity-toity at all.
No,
But
we're not.
we have fun with it. We've started trying to pick out what we do rather than just reading the taste profiles. So
Yeah, you didn't even prep me with any kind of profile, so you just get to hear my
right.
sniff and taste.
It's the old sniff and taste. A lot of rye, a lot of oak. It's very smooth though.
Oh, it is very smooth.
Yeah.
Which is something I try not to describe. What?
Sorry, one sharp shark. Wow, those ryes are lower than my daughter's jeans. And Colton, I expect some good bourbon with you too the next time I'm in the state. Colton, I recently did a count. This is probably crazy to tell people, but we need 5 more bottles of whiskey. So if you are listening and want to help out, because we only
Why
have
do we need 5?
95,
Yes.
we are 5 away from 100 bottles of whiskey. So do your part and everybody chip in, help us out to get to 100. And that's different whiskeys. I didn't like count duplicates, but anyways, 95. So definitely we've got some good bourbons, good ryes, good whiskeys, good blends, all sorts of good stuff to try next time you are in the state. What do you think of this one?
So I'm just gonna say, did you already mention the price point? A lot of the whiskeys we try are like kind of mid price points.
Yeah.
This is a low one. It is $18 a bottle.
Yes.
And this is good for $18 a bottle.
It is very good for $18. This almost rivals Evan Williams Bottled and Bond. Now I like Bottled and Bond better.
I like this better.
You like this better. You're a rye gal. I'm a Bottled and Bond guy. There's not any Bottled and Bond I would turn down, I don't think. But speaking of Bottled and Bond, go check out Two Bar and their Bottled and Bond. It's phenomenal. Hoping to get that at Ace Spirits so that you guys can just order it from Ace Spirits with code BET to get $10 off. But anyways, just had to throw that in there.
Yeah. No, it's good. What do you get from it?
$18 a bottle is cheaper than One Sharp Shark on his first date. Oak and a little bit of spice, but otherwise
I don't get a lot of oak. There is a hint of oak,
you don't
but
get a lot.
the spice is more. And I know I don't like to say smooth because I feel like that's just all you can say about it is that it's smooth.
No, it's got flavor,
But it is a smooth rye. It's warming. Like I'm getting really warm now, but I've had several.
Katie thinks we should
sips.
play 95 bottles of whiskey on the wall. We'll need Nick's help. You'll probably have to drive him though. So, but no, this is for $18. I definitely recommend pick yourself up a bottle, or when you comment, you get entered, and because we are giving away a bottle.
Yeah,
So,
show them that bottle again, Justin.
Yeah, you will get not this one.
Not this one.
You will get
You'll
a full bottle.
unopened bottle.
Yes, this is our Expo bottle, which is also why it's got the little bar spout on it. We don't have bar spouts in all our whiskeys, but yeah, you will win a full bottle of this, and it is good. It's
good.
a good whiskey. Now, we're going to start a little tastings and takes. I didn't prep you on that, but I'm going to do a little tastings and takes. This is smooth. This is good. Something else that I think is smooth and good. Justin Fields will finish as a top 5 quarterback in fantasy football because he is good. And man, when he runs, it is smooth.
Now, yeah, you are putting me on the spot.
That's all right. You don't have to come up with one. That's just the one I came up with pre-show. I forgot to prep
you. Prepped. You thought of this pre-show.
We went live
and now you want me to have a take that I haven't said before? We
went live at 6:10. You worked till 5:50 something.
I did.
So
and I even told you this afternoon. You had us scheduled to go live at 6:45.
Oh yeah.
And I said, no, we have a draft at 8:30. Let's back it up. I'm not going to work late tonight. Without fail, just about any night I say, projecting what my afternoon looks like. I don't think I'm going to work late tonight. No, I was on the phone till after 5 and then had to work till just about 6.
Yes.
So,
I did forget to tell you earlier. Let me see if I can find it. But I'll tell you while I'm looking at it. Mr. Josiah said, "Ooh, I'd love the Ezra Brooks bottle, please and thank you." He's hoping to win that. You do have to be over 21 to win the whiskey. I apologize.
How do we verify that?
How do we verify that?
Explain how we're verifying this, Justin.
Man, Benji is just, how can he finish 5th when he hits IR week 1? Man, can we boot him from the show? Put him on mute.
No.
J Mark's expectations for the Bears are more inflated than my pool furniture. Like, I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl, but I do think Fields, who finished as a top 10 fantasy quarterback, is going to take another step forward because of DJ Moore.
Realistically, I do have Fields in the top 10. I don't know if he's a top 5.
Top 5.
I want him to be. Don't get me wrong. I want him to be.
He will finish as a top 5.
He will.
Bet.
I was just going to say bet.
The kids don't say that anymore, apparently.
We do. We're going to keep it real. We're going to, or not keep it real. Keep it going. Keep it alive.
Watching Justin Fields just gets me rizzed. You don't even know what Riz means, so she gives me the look. The kids will understand. I just learned it during draft day from Kramer, who's older than me, but taught me what Riz was. Should we talk about a little mailroom questions?
Let's do. You have some for us?
We got some mailroom questions.
Do you have an audition?
No.
You are letting me down.
You know what? It's our first time live. The audition got put on the back burner, but I have an idea.
For those of you who listened to us last season, you know that whenever we have a mailroom, we are looking for our mailroom opening song. And
yeah,
you've had to audition every time. I haven't approved one. Well, I did like the Peter Griffin version of Blue's Clues.
Yes. And we could
was okay.
We could, as long as we don't get hit with a copyright infringement like thing, we could throw that up there.
Infringement? Did you say infringement?
Infringement.
Infringe, not infringe.
Party foul. Infringement or a cease and desist, we could put that up on the screen, but I do not have anything for you right now. My guitarist is already back teaching. He was supposed to be coming up with something for me. Now the dog's squeaking a toy. Lovely.
All the things you get when we're live.
Yeah. So this first question is a trade talk question from Logan. He had the 2nd pick in the draft. He picked Jamar Chase. Now he's been offered Cooper Kupp and Alvin Kamara, or AJ Brown and Alvin Kamara for Chase. For Chase. Yep.
Okay.
His quarterback is Jalen Hurts. He feels like he needs to take one of the deals. I get it. I mean, it's fun to trade right away, so I get it. His other wide receivers are Amari Cooper, Tyler Lockett, George Pickens. I'm high on Pickens this year. Running backs are Derrick Henry, Rashad White, Antonio Gibson, and Dalvin Cook.
Ooh, I like the... Okay. Henry and Cook. What?
While you think about that, One Sharp Shark, shout out to you. In fridge mints, only available at your local Holiday Inn. And R Mark 57 saying you should try out George Strait's overnight mail. We will look into that one.
Yes.
So
he wants to know what trade to take.
yes, because he feels like he should take one. So would you sit on Chase? Would you take Kupp and Kamara, or would you take AJ Brown and Kamara?
I would take Brown, AJ Brown and Kamara.
You're high
Stack
on
it.
Brown this year, but
I am.
I do think because he has Hurts, that could definitely play in his
Stack
favor.
it. Stack it. I would stack that.
So yeah,
Stack it.
I would say if you're going to take the trade, do AJ
Mhm.
Brown and Kamara. I am high.
I
on
do
Kupp
like.
this
I was
year.
just gonna say I do like Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
If you haven't listened to me say this a million times this offseason, Cooper Kupp is
1
Cooper Kupp,
million. Cooper Kupp is Cooper Kupp.
and that means he's good. So no, but
Speaking
I
of good,
like
need
this
some more.
stack with AJ Brown and Hurts.
Yeah, no, I do too.
Mhm. I
All
would
right.
take that. That's a good deal in my opinion.
So our tastings and takes are to take AJ Brown and Kamara for Jamar Chase. This one is a keeper question from Spencer, 2-man keeper league, so he can keep 2.
Keep 2.
Yes,
I feel like I need to take notes here. Okay.
right.
Keep 2.
Keep CMC and Chase, but that loses his first and second rounders, or keep Chase and Garrett Wilson, which would lose his second and 12th.
Chase and Wilson.
He does not throw out that he could keep CMC and Garrett Wilson. However, I feel like that's probably an option. That would be a first rounder and a 12th rounder. He's leaning towards the second option because he has the 5th overall pick. Christian McCaffrey's not going to be there at 5, I don't think.
At 5, no.
Depending on who's kept, you're going to have Justin Jefferson go first from what we've seen.
Mhm.
And then it's going to probably be CMC from what we've seen.
From what we've seen,
Could
CMC
be-
will not. I almost guarantee you, CMC will not be there at the 5th pick.
Yeah. Your first
So-
4, from what I've seen, sorry to
Mhm.
interrupt you, but are Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, CMC, and Austin Eckler. Those have been pretty much the first 4 in every
Unless
draft
I'm
I've
in your
seen,
league.
unless Travis Kelce goes. I have seen that as well. Yeah.
Yes. I took Travis Kelce at the 3rd.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's gonna go CMC and Chase for the first and second picks, or Chase and Wilson for the second and 12th. I'm just gonna come out and say this because you were leaning towards the second, but you do realize that CMC and Chase are both first rounders.
Right. Yeah. In a 10-person league, Chase is normally going in that first round. So that's 2 first rounders you're getting.
Yeah. I honestly, me being like, I like to have the most, your top 10, like the most top 10 players of each position that I can get. That's amazing to me to get CMC and Chase.
Yeah. I agree.
You could
I
miss out on, because you're not going to get with the 5th, but you're not going to get, because Chase is a second rounder. You're not going to get CMC with your first pick. So you could still keep Chase, I guess, and keep Wilson and have a different first rounder.
Yes.
With your 5th pick, but it's not going to be CMC. So I would take CMC has great value. Take the CMC and Chase.
I like it. My other thought would be CMC and Garrett Wilson, because then you do have a second rounder, but you bring up a good point that you're not going to get Chase in the second round. So if you're high on Chase, I would definitely take that as your first and second rounder. I would keep CMC and Chase.
Mm-hmm. That's just my opinion.
All right. We do have a question in the chat
Mm-hmm.
to answer before we get to our last mailroom question. What toppings go on the perfect hamburger?
I don't care for hamburgers.
Caught you off guard there.
Cheese to make it a cheeseburger.
cheeseburger.
I don't know. I guess I like mustard and ketchup. This is legit. Who asked this?
One sharp.
Okay.
You think I'm just making the question
Yeah,
up?
red onion, lettuce, sometimes a tomato depending on the mood, but ketchup and mustard. Oh, but I sometimes like mayonnaise on it.
I do all 3. Mayonnaise, ketchup, mustard. I'm a wild
I don't do pickles.
person.
I like my
have to
homemade
have-
pickles. I
yeah.
make bomb.
She's
homemade
been making a
pickles.
bunch of them because her
We've
garden is
got
producing like
cucumbers
crazy.
coming out of our ass out of this
No,
garden.
speak for yourself.
And
Not mine. Yeah.
anyway,
Mayonnaise, ketchup,
Um,
mustard, pickles, red onion, and tomato. I don't like lettuce, and actually, I
I'll
prefer.
even do a white onion or a yellow onion, whatever. But yes, I like onion.
I
just
prefer
onion.
to keep the tomatoes on the side actually because they always make it so like your bun.
Mm-mm. If I'm having a tomato on my hamburger, which is I'm making it a cheeseburger because I don't do hamburgers. I do cheeseburgers if I'm going to
Oh.
do a cheeseburger.
Well, you got me there, one sharp shark. He said no one said bacon. I would absolutely put bacon.
We
on
never
it.
have. We never do. When we ever.
No,
Wow,
I'm stuck
tongue-tied.
eating turkey
When we
bacon.
grill hamburgers, we don't make bacon. What's
And
wrong
if
with
we
us?
do, it's turkey bacon. Hey.
You like our turkey bacon.
Josiah says onions. Bleh. He did the emoji.
Wait till you're a real adult and
You
you'll
had some
like the
growing up to
onion.
do, Josiah. Nick said you got to have cheese, lettuce, pickles.
Lettuce for
SGPN
sure.
Fantasy Football, welcome. I'm not sure who's running the account, but welcome. They said jalapenos, melted cheese, and bacon. I do like a spicy burger
Ooh,
now and then.
jalapeno.
Yeah.
No seeds for me, but the jalapeno.
What about my what pepper am I growing out in the garden?
Jesus.
With a
the
2 million Scoville?
the Reaper.
The Reaper, yes.
He
growing-
picked. You're supposed to wear gloves when you pick this pepper, and this pepper looks wicked, and it's sitting on our counter right now. And he just
What are
takes
these
it off the
gloves?
plant
Though
and throws it in with our tomatoes. And
I
oh my
will
gosh.
say after I did that and then I went to pee, like I was uncomfortable the rest
You
of the
were?
night.
You
No,
didn't
I'm
tell me?
kidding. You were? Colton chiming in saying we do pepper jacks, Syracusa.
What is Syracuse? Explain.
Maybe Colton meant sriracha and
Sriracha. Oh, I
I
don't
don't
think
know.
I'd put
What's
sriracha.
Syracusa? I don't know. Explain what Syracuse is. Ketchup, mustard, lettuce, jalapenos, and cucumber.
You do
Interesting.
cucumber instead of pickle?
I've also
that's
had
interesting.
really good burgers with a egg on it.
Sorry about the squeak.
Yeah,
Aspen.
with an egg on it.
Mhm.
Or I've had really good burgers with peanut butter on it. The melted peanut butter.
What is that burger? Zombie burger in Des Moines.
Zombie.
I haven't eaten at Zombie Burger since pre-pandemic. That is
And
just
then some, I feel like. But
And what is that burger that I would get there? It had avocado. I like avocado on my cheeseburger.
yeah,
That it was guacamole,
guacamole.
but avocado on a burger. This
Yeah.
is a thank you for this question.
This is a good one.
I needed
yeah.
this in my life and I didn't know it.
Colton did confirm Syracusa is sriracha.
Okay, so
I assume so, but it did say Syracusa. Maybe it's something I'm not the most I'm trying to think of what word expanded foodie. I don't know all the fancy stuff. Maybe it was something fancy. No, good question, one sharp
Mhm.
shark. I liked it. Nick says zombie burger is meh now.
well,
they're
it's
not
still
they're not
there
one
though,
of-
right? Zombie Burger is still there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He just
you
said
can
they're
get.
meh.
Well, I haven't had them since pre-pandemic, and we're in 2023.
Colton says autocorrect. My Japanese great aunt does cucumber. I don't know, but it's not bad.
I like cucumbers on sandwiches.
It's basically like a pickle that's not pickled. Yeah.
not fermented.
Good question, one sharp shark. Love you keeping us on our toes with a random question there. Last fantasy football question. Who do you pick? This is from Chip.
Okay.
He's got the third pick. I assume Chip is a he, sorry, but they have the third pick in a 13 team. First of all, 13? You couldn't kick one person out or find one more friend to make it even? Like that bothers
Can you
me.
tell me how that works too? Like, how does that work?
Somebody's got to have a bye every week, I feel like, right?
I don't know. You would have to,
Yeah.
right?
Unless it's like a best ball type format. But anyways,
I don't know. Okay, so
13
teams, and
half-
he's
half point PPR, third pick. Justin Jefferson and CMC are gone. See, CMC will
hold on.
not
You're
be there.
going a little fast for me on these details, and I got to keep it straight here.
Half point PPR.
Okay.
Justin Jefferson and CMC are gone, which is my point of to our previous question to Spencer. CMC will not be there at your fifth pick. I do not believe. Anyways,
No, he
they're
won't be.
torn between Jamar Chase, Bijan Robinson, and Austin Eckler. There again, Jamar Chase is only your second rounder, Spencer, and this person, Chip, is considering them at their third pick.
Mhm.
So they will not. Jamar Chase will likely not be there for your second round.
He's anyway.
But Jamar,
stick to this
yes,
question,
sorry.
please, for me, so I can keep it straight in my head. So we've got
Jamar Chase,
Bijan
Bijan Robinson, or Austin Eckler.
Anyone drafting Bijan in the first round is just crazy. Okay, I'm just gonna say it.
I agree with
This
that.
is ridiculous. Stop doing it.
There's a lot of hype. but
Or keep doing it, and somebody else will be happy and get their pick. Jamar Chase No, Chase is gone. Who did you say?
No, Justin
No,
Jefferson and
And
CMC are
CMC.
gone.
So Jamar Chase, Eckler,
Or
or
Bijan.
Bijan. Personally, I would go Chase.
I would go Austin Eckler.
Really?
I would.
Explain.
So Austin Eckler caught 70 passes last year, something like that. It's half point PPR, so that's important. He also almost got to 1,000 yards. Now Kellen Moore is their offensive coordinator, previously of Dallas Cowboys. I'm a big Kellen Moore fan anyways, because he was the Boise State quarterback when I became a Boise State Bronco fan. But anyways, I just think they're going to really utilize that. Look what they did with Tony Pollard last year. Tony Pollard became the 7th running back. Austin Eckler in a full PPR was the top running back. I just think Austin Eckler is going to do even better in that offense.
still think you got to go with Chase.
You like Jamar
You got to
Chase?
take your top wide receivers. It's important. I think
Yeah.
at that point,
So you can end up drafting Deuce Vaughn.
no, auction and snake are completely different. Deuce Vaughn came up your bidding. He just happened to be the first running back we bid on, Justin. We did not in a snake draft pick Deuce Vaughn as, let's just be clear, we did not pick Deuce Vaughn as our first running back. He's just the first running back we bid on and got.
RD checking in saying, Murr, tell him what's what. Shout out to RD. If you have not, sorry to derail you real quick, but if you have not gone and listened to the NFL Gambling Podcast with Ryan, Moneyline Mac, myself, and RD on the NFC North, go listen to it. RD, a Packers fan, me, a Bears fan. It was fun. SGPN Fantasy Football, do not besmirch the Deuce. I'm not, but it was our RB2. I do not feel comfortable with Deuce as our second.
But our stack,
back.
we had a great stack with Mahomes and Travis Kelce.
And we got Cooper Kupp.
And Cooper Kupp. We had Cooper Kupp.
And Damian Pierce, and then Deuce Vaughn. Like, come on. And then Josiah says Deuce. I believe he made a comment when we were drafting that he has the name of poop. But anyways, it's probably what our team's going to be with Deuce as our RB2.
No. Mahomes and nobody gets Mahomes and Kelce in an auction league.
Not ideal, SGPN Fantasy Football says. I don't know if that's Bruni. I'm assuming it's Bruni, maybe. But Bruni, yeah, I agree. Not ideal.
We had to Bruni. If it's Bruni, is it Bruni? Did you say it's Bruni?
I think it probably is.
We had to agree on our picks. We were on the same team. It didn't go well.
Mile High Boost checking in, 12-team league. Mile High, I don't recognize the screen name, so if you could DM our Twitter at Old Fashioned FB your email address or some way to contact you, or I guess I can contact you on Twitter if you DM us there, because with a comment, you just got signed up for a prize.
You're being entered on the wheel as we speak.
Yeah. So, and that's all you have to do to
tune back in. Well, Monday's show, but next Thursday we'll be giving away all the prizes we mentioned earlier.
Over 25 prizes, which we're excited about. RD came to watch to see if J. Mark and Murr stealing my strategies from last night's draft.
RD, I didn't take any notes from last night's draft.
And if we did, it wouldn't be from your team.
Oh,
just kidding.
We should not be roasting our listeners.
Right.
So sorry, RD.
It's RD. RD's a great guy. He can take it. So you're on Jamar Chase, just to go back to this question.
I'm on Jamar Chase. You take Jamar Chase. You don't take Eckler.
I'm on Eckler.
There. You don't take Eckler there. You just don't.
Team is weird, but
I don't. Is that a typo? Can you? Is that a typo?
I have no idea. I'll ask Chip if it was a typo.
Okay, you ask Chip. I need to know. You're taking my pen away. I'm sorry.
You're clicking it too much. I'll ask Chip if he couldn't find one more friend. Like, come on. If you need another person, I'll be in the league. But anyways,
it's already been drafted.
Thank you, SGPN Fantasy Football 16 watching. Smash the like button. I agree. Smash the like button. Subscribe and set your alerts so that you know when we are going live. But yeah, absolutely. If you could hit that like button, that really helps us. All the comments help too. We really appreciate it. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us.
It's been fun.
One sharp.
I was just gonna.
We can always count on him for an awesome comment. Yeah, let's get that like button smashed on more than my ex-wife. I believe from interactions with One Sharp Shark on NFL gambling podcast, there might be more than one ex-wife, but maybe I'm remembering incorrectly.
We
Correct
don't
me if
need
I'm
to
wrong,
get
that's
into
fine.
one sharks. Say that a million times.
One sharp shark.
Yeah.
One sharp
We
shark.
don't need to get into his personal life here on our show, Justin.
All right, fair enough. But if you do have rain boots of your wife's,
We'll throw that on the wheel.
If you want to send them, I can PayPal you some money, and we'll throw that on the wheel of winning stuff. Do you have anything else?
No.
Fortune says, "Well, that got real."
No, and this old fashioned, which
Well, hang on.
okay, fine. But I can I compliment you?
Oh,
That doesn't
yes.
happen often. So can I do it?
Yeah, please go on.
You didn't do too bad.
Oh, that was barely a
No,
compliment.
it was good. It was good.
Well,
And
we're out of
Is this
cherries.
my mom's mini orange?
Yeah, it's the mini orange of
I
your
didn't think it
mother's.
was a real orange. My mom was here Monday.
The truth
Left
is,
an orange.
one sharp shark. The truth is, I don't even have an ex-wife. I just love the jokes. Well, we appreciate the jokes
Yes.
too. Yeah, we didn't have cherries, but I did put a little bit of the cherry juice.
I don't have to
in
have
there.
a cherry in every old fashioned.
Well, our jar is still in there, it's sitting
oh,
empty.
the Bordeaux cherry
So I
juice.
put a little bit of Bordeaux cherry
What
juice,
kind of bitters did you use?
orange and Angostura,
Okay.
and I used one of our simple syrups from Oregon because last time you're like, man, we have all these simple syrups.
Which one?
The whatever the basic one is. It says
From Portland?
No, sorry, not Portland, from Colorado.
Oh, from Colorado. The
Yes.
herbal one?
Yes.
Herbal.
yes.
Okay. Yeah.
The
Great.
one that was already out sitting there because that was convenient. And then the whiskey, obviously.
It wasn't bad.
No,
I like
a good
this.
rye
I like the
old-fashioned.
Ezra Brooks Rye in an old fashioned.
Yes, remember you could win a bottle of this. We will be shipping it out to you, but don't tell Uncle Sam. If you get it in the mail, it is hot sauce and salsa. Hopefully no feds are watching. Make sure you subscribe to Old Fashioned Football. Go to Twitter at Old Fashioned FB. Go to youtube.com/@old-fashioned football.
Go to Insta at Old Fashioned Football Podcast.
You couldn't see me in the camera. I was doing the whole I believe it was Shawn Michaels that did that. Anyways, and we're on Facebook as well. We're not on TikTok, but I'm on TikTok if you want to follow me because I post mainly
Bourbon.
now. I post bourbon and our stuff from our show. But yeah, thank you for hanging out. We appreciate it. If you're listening on the pod again, try to RD says herbal Colorado.
Okay, come on, not that kind of herbal. Jesus.
But yeah, we already have a question for next week. We did have another question from Snoo Pineapples, but it was a start sit. So we are going to save that for next week because Monday we're going to be talking about some guys that might be out on the waiver that you might want to give a chance. And then
Already.
Thursday, we're going to be doing a little start sit and answering any questions. So make sure you show up and ask your
And that
questions.
is our giveaway day.
And that is our giveaway. We will be doing the prize wheel. If you watch Draft Day 3.0, it's the same prize wheel from that. It's fun. It makes noise and claps when you win. Miranda. Oh, that reminds me. I was just going to say, sorry, not quite yet. Fortune, Kathy, Colton, Josiah, Randy, One Sharp Shark, Benji, Katie, RD, SGPN Fantasy Football, and Mile High Boost. You got yourselves entered into the drawing. If I missed your name and you think you commented, please let me know. Please let me know. Otherwise, how's your old fashioned over there?
It is gone.
It's gone, and now people can see it going once, going twice.
Sold.
Oh, I took your line.
You took
Going
my
once,
line.
going twice.
Sold.
Old Fashioned Football.